Hello everybody, I am the Black Sigma, or you could just call me Eric, and welcome back. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and I intend on finishing this today. However, now that I've stumbled into what I think is progress by pressing the statement that DeKiller made about having to do 2 or 3 other things, he said they're not relevant to this case. And Phoenix said that is for the court to decide. And DeKiller doesn't seem to be, impressed. Yes? Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client, which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client? That's... I smell the stench of a backstabber, and should you turn out to be one... Wait. Uh-oh. This is looking really bad. Shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing? Technically, for the sake of the case, it sure is. Jeez, my voice has only gotten worse since yesterday. But, technically for the case it is, but if he does something to Maya, I'm gonna try it. I saved for a reason. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was it? Inside Mr. Karida's suitcase. And then, what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client. Interesting. Certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include that in your testimony. Thank goodness. You were able to find the bear figurine and give it to Andrews. I found this figurine at Engarde's mansion. If you gave it to her, what was it doing there? I was waiting for her there. Also part of a plan to frame him, I assume. Makes sense. Mr. Wright, any problems with that? Any problems? I mean, it contradicts the testimony of Will Powers. Doesn't contradict any test or any evidence we have, but the killer says he gave the figurine to Ms. Andrews. There's a contradiction in that statement. If I present trivial evidence, he'll cut the connection on his end. I have to make a strong point and present strong evidence. Let's do it. You gave Ms. Andrews the bear figurine, told you to take the bear and wait for her at Engarde Mansion. That correct? Yes, where are you going with this? I think maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly. Don't think it's possible for Ms. Andrews to have been the recipient of the bear. That's not where I thought we were going with this. Okay, I have an idea. Her reason for wanting the bear was to find the suicide note and burn it. She knew how to open the bear. Therefore, this suicide note would not have still been inside had she received the bear. But I don't know if I meant to present the note or the bear. Oh my god. I can't believe I figured that one out. Shelly the Killer, if you had really given the bear to Ms. Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. Oh, thank you, Phoenix. This item, I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? Your Honor, please think back to Ms. Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it for her sake. If even for a single minute this bear had actually been in her hands, she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Order, order, order. So that's where you two were going. So by the very fact that this suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to dismantle or disassemble the puzzle. Both equally acceptable words. Which means? It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client. Oh. Order. I really hope clearing my throat deals with this cold that literally everyone in this court seems to have. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Me? I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's not. That's enough. If that is your intention, then there is only one thing for me to do. Wait, please. Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. Hold it. No, please. Not that. Please wait. Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand. Otherwise... What in the... Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? I don't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should... Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll... Ugh. The prosecution... What has come over everyone? Even you are. The prosecution... rests. What is going on around here? The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor. What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then, even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. Dakilla's testimony is accurate. That would mean that his client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Matt Engarde, would be declared innocent, and in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder. She would be charged with murder. The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant Matt Engarde to the stand. The items from Dakilla's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands. Dude, did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You've done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent. Huh. So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Mr. Engarde? What an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap, it's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer? Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life? You'd better get Engarde a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, Ms. Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is going to end. All hinges on what I choose. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt Engarde, is innocent. There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer is going to say what I want, aren't you? Right? I can't do this. But I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt Engarde, is... sorry, Your Honor. The defense just went to get himself some hot honey and lemon to help soothe his throat, and sort of get his thoughts together, but I cannot let a murderer walk away. We're waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt Engarde, your client, deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. Matt Engarde is... Franziska von Karma. What are you... Ow! You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces? Do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence here is in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine, and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this. What a filthy old coat this is. Mad Scumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial, all for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence. Your final evidence? This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial. What? Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence, down to the last. I request that Ms. Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. I suppose you're right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Huh? Now, Ms. Von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are items left by De Killer during his escape from the police. He must have been in quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor. De Killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that'll turn this whole situation around. Like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That is all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Does De Killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? No. The murder was a strangulation. Present the next piece of evidence. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. Holy shit! That's it. Give me that tape. Von Karma, have you checked the contents of that? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh yeah. But I would speculate that this tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. De Killer went back for it? That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from De Killer. Shelly, De Killer is no ordinary man. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Sure. Was that used during the crime? Almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. No doubting about it. He was wearing that on the night of the murder. There is one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There's a button missing on this uniform. A button? It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. I see. That is all I have to present, Your Honor. Just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure, were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelly the Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing. It is who is the client. Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Ms. Von Karma. You may step down now. Wait, Your Honor! Please allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix. I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far, you can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's... Try, for my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of this situation for us. The first... Make Engarde wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Engarde wishes to be convicted, he'll let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way... Force the killer to end his contract with Engarde. If the killer were to no longer think of Engarde as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia, that's even less impossible. I have evidence that the client-assassin confidentiality trust is broken. Judge has already said he doesn't need more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Think things through from the other side. Hasn't that always worked? You mean turn things around? Judge has said he doesn't need evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence? The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We have all seen the pieces of evidence, and that is how we have come to know the truth. But there is one person who has yet to see them all, and that person does not know the truth. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle. No objections this time, correct? Then I will now pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? No shot, Your Honor. I have already told you, Mr. Wright, this court does not need any more evidence. I'm not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then you want to show the evidence to... that person? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance. Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. That's impossible. To turn this situation around in one try, that is all I will permit. I don't think I need to save for this one, but I will anyway. I have to try to remember. Everything that has happened up to this point, think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking Engarde down at the same time. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's try not to waste any more time. Who would you like to show the evidence to? I see. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person. I would like to show Shelly the killer the tape he was after, Your Honor. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier. All right. Looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence? Yep, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client, and I was told to protect that videotape. Thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client not to watch it, so I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you are on this tape. Me? There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. What? Is that true, Mr. Wright? Who was it that planted a camera? Well, the only person that could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews? Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Your client specified a place and time for you. Isn't that right? Yes. That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Matt Engarde film the crime scene? The reason why he did it is my ticket out of this whole mess. There is only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted to... Oh. I should have said trust. I should have said he didn't trust your skills, but he did also want to blackmail you. Because your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelly the killer? Oh! It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes? You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then? That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of the Dakilla name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes Dakilla's next target. I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around. Mr. Wright? Yes? My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you, your precious item. What the? I'm not an item! Maya, thought I'd never see you again. Thank goodness. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I actually am sort of... I don't quite know what just happened there with the witness and... Miss Von Karma, where did that... She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Mr. Engarde, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. Oh my god. I didn't just break the contract and get Maya back, which was one of the two miracles that could have happened. I've achieved both miracles. Engarde wants to be declared guilty because he doesn't want to be murdered. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watched this video. Help me! Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please. Is this all right with you, Mr. Wright? We've finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. Matt Engarde is a vile man who hired a contract killer to get his rival out of the way, simply to save face of his public image. This man deserves to die at the hands of Shelly the Killer. And yet, I can't do that. Because I say he deserves to die by the hands of the assassin he betrayed, but no. No one inherently deserves to die. And even if they do, it's just not my style. The truth has come to light in this court, and the truth is Matt Engarde is guilty. Matt Engarde, even though I am a lawyer, I cannot make your crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here. Me? My wonderful self? Guilty? Even if you got an acquittal, the instant you set foot outside the detention center, your life would be in danger. No matter which way you look at it, you can't run away from your crime anymore. No! Guilty, 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 guilty! As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth. We don't remember you helping out much in this. Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt Engarde? I have left Ms. Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full-course meal of whip leather right about now. Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. Must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. Something choosing death. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I saw for myself who I really am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I had finally been saved. Wow, first time I've seen her smile. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone.
Looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about, but everyone seems to be in good spirits, and that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Hey, where was the guilty verdict? You just said court was adjourned, you didn't. Okay. You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty right? Yeah, I understand now. It's the same lesson I taught Edgeworth. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Ms. Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on the matter.
Can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life? My client, Matt Engarde, is... Is he guilty, or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then, and your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. I chose guilty. I chose the truth above all. Right. Edgeworth. I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody.
Really? Pearls? You're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, she's quite safe. She is on her way here as we speak in a patrol car.
Mr. Maya! Mr. Maya's safe! You did it! You really did it, Mr. Nick!
Ow. She punches deceptively hard for a kid.
I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her, Mr. Nick will save her.
Thanks.
Oh? You're really struggling to voice act me because of your sore throat, huh?
What's wrong?
Ms. Von Karma.
Hi. About earlier. Thanks.
Ow! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost. Your perfect win record has now been crushed.
Von Karma, unlike you, this was never about my perfect win record.
And yet, you are still happy?
I don't think you'll ever understand, Ms. Von Karma.
How dare you?
Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth? For my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remained spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner, and still tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I had once called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death.
Humph, as well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die.
Von Karma, to your own brother. Not to mention, you have lost twice in court to me. Thank you very much. Does that mean Prosecutor Franziska Von Karma chooses death? But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change.
What foolish nonsense.
We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well.
What? You trusted your enemy?
It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is to fight, with the knowledge we hold and everything we have.
erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch, but we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This, I promise you.
The truth?
Yes, that is the reason prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, right? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night.
Is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick?
You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me all those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why, 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least, that's what I told myself.
You pathetic fool. Miss Von Karma? I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. A Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over.
Franziska threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. As something else.
Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. Because she feels she's disgraced the Von Karma name and therefore is retiring. You should keep this, right? Okay.
Nick! Maya! Maya! Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya!
Such a relief to see you again.
Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through. You got Engarde convicted like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me.
Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. But we sure pressed our luck during this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here.
Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly.
Huh. Is it really that easy to do that?
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Don't mention it.
Maya. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm relieved you're alright.
Hey, looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago.
Oh right, you were being starved. Did the police not feed you anything? Alright, I think it's time we got out of this depressing place.
Huh? Where are we going?
Food, Nick, food. Grub, chow. I'm literally starved. I'm so hungry even you look nice. juicy burger. You look like a nice juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick. You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least. Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please. If you insist. Alright, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint? Don't be silly, Nick. Huh? This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I've decided that we have to make it up by having another feast. Another feast? Come on, Nick. Food. March 23rd in the Gatewater Hotel. Hey, pal. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Gumshoe, I've never seen you without your coat. Oh, right. I have that on me. Here you go. You alright? Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. Didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things. A telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him? You did it again, city boy. Oh my god, my voice is terrible to do with this dang sore throat in the way. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking. Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of the Steel Samurai. Thanks. Now looky here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you bullied Mr. Right too hard? If you don't start being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it in. Tonight even. I'll keep that in mind. Be nicer to Mr. Right. Phoenix. Being nicer to you, did you want to maybe go on never mind. Well, come on now. Everyone gather round. Y'all are gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer. Looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal. Amen to that, pal. Amen. You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, detective. Huh? Me? You really think so? He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending. Well, you know, it's... wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from Tequila's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. What? 4? Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket. There was a 4th item? Aw, come on, y'all, it's over. But oh boy, I tell you, you really are something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped, never a dull moment with you, huh? You think? Why does she look so happy about that? Maya, if you get accused of murder again in the 3rd game, I swear to God. Hang on. I know that Maya gets accused of murder at least one more time. Happens in this. But being shut away for 2 whole days, weren't you scared? It was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off of things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had it rough, gal, so where's this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it, Mystic Maya's picture. You know, I don't know where it went. Aw, that's too bad. Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway. It sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. Huh? What is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up. That's Ms. Von Karma's receiver. Thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. Can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me. That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location. Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir. Well, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does. The tracking device would be in his coat, along with this fourth piece of evidence we missed. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do. Huh? But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet. And you've eaten way too much, you glutton. I had fun tonight. Now, if you'll excuse me... Wait. What? I just want to say... Thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. How can I thank Edgeworth more personally? Maybe a hug? Or a little bit of a... Nah, he probably wouldn't be into that. Right? Wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. I'll give him a pistol. Your adoptive sister's whip. Miles, you taught me not to give up. And I taught you the same. But Francisca has given up. What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you too. It wasn't just you who helped during this case, Edgeworth. We need to thank Francisca as well. You don't need to thank me, I was only doing my job. It looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Mr. Maya? Yes, Pearly? I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick, I mean? Pearly, would you cut that out already? You're embarrassing me. Anyway, who's paying for this lovely dinner party? As if you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick. Huh? I thought we were splitting the bill. Yeah, I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kinda already put your name on the bill. Huh? Huh? Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel, you see, and I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It'd be better anyhow for 3,000. Huh? Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all. Huh? Huh? Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, Nick. Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? You don't need to hold it back now, you hear? Yeah, pal. Time to let it all out. This is going to be the first time I hear the real you. Oh yeah, because you weren't in court when I got your mother and Mimi Miney convicted, and every other time you were possessed by Mia. Phoenix, reluctantly paying for everyone's meals again. Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all. Please, throat, don't let me down. Alright then, if you say so. Objection! I was a little bit delayed. Oops. Anyway, as per usual, I let the credits roll. You really came through for me, Nick. Had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. Really feel like I've been living on edge lately. Mean I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro. The endgame testimonials from all the characters. I'm so happy that you could save Mystic Maya, Mr. Nick. So happy for the two of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymooners. You made reservations for pearls? No. Bad child. Stop with your shipping. I say as someone who has openly shipped Miles and Phoenix this whole time. Well, Belle, looks like I'm back on the 4th. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief and got me reinstated. Said things like letting that one go is bad for all of society. Knew it. Crashing headlong into everything is the only way to live, pal. Sure is, Gumshoe. Hey, Maggie. Been a while. I, Maggie Bird, am retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm going to be a witness from now on, and bring smiles and joy to people who come— oh, waitress is what she said. She's going to a restaurant and hopes I'll stop by. Okay. You know what? I'm sure I will. I have a funny feeling it's gonna come up in the 3rd game. Yes, are you here to visit a patient? I'm Director Hardy. Recently. Yes, that girl. You know, I haven't seen her around. Yes. But I remember. Oh, he's talking about Von Karma. Didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes. Bad juju from that man. It's time to begin our quest of world circus domination, sweetie, and let the world know we're serious. We're going to Zimbabwe. What do you think it's like? I hear there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk. If I think there are any talking— wait, is she thinking of, like, literal Wonderland? I don't think those are things in Zimbabwe. I'm ready. No way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears. More contemporary with his humor. Mocals represent. Ugh. Worked out our new act. Hallelujah something. Ben's supposed to start it. Right. What's this? Drat, it's just an ordinary electric racer. Can't believe this, really. How long do they plan on making me do this? But it's Edgy Poo's idea, so it must have a deep hidden meaning. Why do I get the feeling they wouldn't forget about me, would they? Never like this in the old days. Everyone thought the world of me. They used to call me Queen Wendy, treat me like royalty. Heel to— oh boy. Hang on, my nose is straight up blocked. I'm gonna have to mute my mic. appreciates what me and Edgeworth did. Received something from Von Karma. Oh, to consult her. Oh, great. Good for you, Andrews. It has become difficult for me in this country as of late. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please visit my homepage. Oh, God. I am not going to request the services of Shelly D. Killer. It ain't happening. But, finally, post-credits. International departures, Gate 12. Where are you going, Francisca? How did you know I was here? With this. That's... I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example. That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. But it's going in the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting. When I ran off with the things from Tequila's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. 4 things? Seems he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in here. It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over. What are you going to do now? That's none of your business. Are you running away? Shut up! You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter. Francisca. So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win, no matter what. And failure? Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius, there's no doubt about that. But me, I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to. You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor. You have been, and always will be. No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away. Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I might have had a hunch. I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on without me. Miles Edgeworth, I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge.
I see.
You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today.
I believe you can.
Just like how Adrian Andrews did. Adrian Andrews?
You were going to use her during the trial, right?
But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics. Isn't that right? Today, you chased after me, after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you are going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma. I am Franziska von Karma. Don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now, so you had better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. Phoenix Wright. One day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, I'll take good care of this fourth piece, so I can give it to you when at last we meet again. It's the drawing that Maya made! She made the shell into Nick's spiky hair. Oh, that's so wonderful. And with that, justice for all comes to an end. There's only one more game in this trilogy. Trials and Tribulations. I'll see all of you, probably with a more complete cosplay by that point, in the next episode. Bye.